internet waves, find out what the people say.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is July 17th in the wonderful year of 2025, and this is a Red Alert edition number 2. Thank you for being with me. I really appreciate all of you that are sticking with me as I'm just trying to add a little bit of extra to the channel. It can't always be about Lisa, and it shouldn't be about Lisa, honestly, because when we do that, and I am the one at fault for that, but when I do that, I'm the one that's adding to her big ass head thinking that she's famous or some shit. This is a tough one because, yeah, Trump just called me. I'm just going to say me because I'm definitely taking this shit personally. He said that anybody that is believing or holding on to the Epstein file, we're all stupid and dumb. And basically, he doesn't want our kind of support. And I'm definitely paraphrasing there, but I'm going to play lots of clips to show what Mr. President has thought. And I just want to say, Mr. President, with all due respect, kiss my ample white ass. For real, for real. You ran on this as a promise, sir. There's so much I have to say about this. Yeah. How is it that there's no list? There's nothing now anymore. It's all a big hoax, right? But just a little bit ago, you were saying, or I would say your staff was saying, that there was in excess of 250 victims. Well, how are there all these victims but no client list and no files? And it's all a hoax now, created by the Democrats? Why? Because the videos have surfaced of you and your big old buddy pal Epstein together? I mean, everybody knew you were on the list. I just don't think people knew to the extent. And the way that you're behaving, the way that you're responding, Mr. President, makes it look even worse. I'd really like to thank all of you that are sticking with me and just trying out this new little segment over here at WTF Radio. I really do appreciate all of you so much. I think it's important that, I pay attention to other real stories around the world. I want to go out and find the WTF stories, the stories that make you go, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to do. And Lisa was like one of the first stories, sorry. And she is definitely a WTF story. So we will always be watching, and hopefully Lisa will get her shit together and, we won't have to be making crackhead videos about her and songs and shit. But again, I really do appreciate everybody sticking with me. This isn't, it's just a little part of what we're going to do. I think it's important to keep our eyes on what's really going on besides some junkie in Pittsburgh. So thank you so much. Let's get to this. Let's check out this new Red Alert. Oh my gosh. Egg on my face? Yeah, a little bit.
Mr. President, your daughter-in-law said that there should be transparency in the Epstein case. Do you agree with her, sir?
The Attorney General's handled that very well. She's really done a very good job, and I think that when you look at it, you'll understand that. I would like to see that also, but I think the Attorney General, the credibility is very important, and you want credible evidence for something like that. And I think the Attorney General's handled it very well.
Let's talk about the Epstein stuff. There was a big push in his campaign about releasing the Epstein files. When are we going to see the list? And I mean, he rode that, in the campaign. And then
the whole thing has always been, to me, a sideshow. But I thought it got real interesting when Elon put out that tweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, a few weeks later, what file? Epstein and Trump knew each other. That's not even, there's no fake videos. Those aren't AI videos of those guys hanging out.
Talking about Jeffrey Epstein.
It's Sunday morning, West Coast time. Donald Trump is crashing out hard over this Epstein business and the DOJ and Pam Bondi, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. He is crashing out hard. And I did a long video about this yesterday. He put out a Truth Social post yesterday saying that the Epstein files are a Democratic hoax. That they were written, that the files were written by Obama and Biden and the Clintons. He's now saying that the Epstein files are a Democratic hoax. And he referenced Russiagate in that post and all kinds of other witch hunt. He's saying that they're a hoax. And his own supporters are now commenting online that he looks really, really guilty because he's crashing out so hard over this. That these are not the actions of someone who is innocent relative to Jeffrey Epstein. These are not the actions of someone who is not in the Epstein files. And I think it's starting to dawn on them that he was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend for 15 years, that he is deep in this. And now California Representative, Democrat member of the House, Ro Khanna, said that he put out a public statement that either on Monday or Tuesday, he's going to introduce a resolution on the floor of the House of Representatives demanding that the DOJ release the Epstein files. What are Republican members of the House going to do? Vote against that? Are they really going to vote against that? Public record. Are they going to vote against that? And this is what I've been talking about for the last week when I've been saying that Democrats are totally dropping the ball on this. Ro Khanna found the perfect way to do this. He's not putting out anything that's salacious or anything like that. He's just going to file a resolution demanding that Donald Trump and Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino do what they've publicly said they're going to do. They've said it on multiple occasions. Kash Patel wrote a book about it. Government Gangsters, the Deep State. Pam Bondi was on Fox News dozens of times. Released the Epstein files. Dan Bongino used to talk about it on his podcast constantly. And because they managed to convince Trump's base that Epstein's client list is a list populated exclusively by prominent Democrats, Hollywood types, and business leaders like Bill Gates and George Soros. And that's how the MAGA base was going to get their mass arrests of people on the left. Trump campaigned on this. And now he's trying to convince his own base that the Epstein files is a Democrat hoax and that the Epstein files were written by Obama and Biden and the Clintons. That it's a witch hunt. That it's just like Russiagate, the Russia hoax. And his base is crashing out as hard as he is about this. This is insane. All the Trump did to his own base with this big, beautiful bill. All the lies he told them about no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. And this is what's going to turn his base against him, the Epstein files. This is what's going to turn Trump's base against him.
President Trump absolutely did campaign on this promise, and now it's a hoax. Are people crashing out over it? Am I crashing out over it? Not necessarily, but I'm really pissed off about it. And I really think that you look weak and pathetic in this moment. If you have to own up to something, do it. I mean, aren't you already a felon, sir?
People are wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk, is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well, we'll
along
look
with
for
his
that.
co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for
He
sure.
sure did.
FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest, the largest scale in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Gislaine Maxwell Black Book. What names are in there, man? You understand how many powerful people probably want this thing to desperately go away?
And speaking of Gislaine Maxwell, what now? We have the President of the United States that claims that it was all a hoax. So what? No victims? So is Gislaine Maxwell going to get pardoned or how? What's going to happen now? President Trump absolutely gave her an out. Man, this is all opening up. If we're going to talk conspiracies, President Trump, since you opened the door, let's look at this one.
Trump is the best thing happened ever to us, that he is the magician of the highest order, that he is there in his irrational mind to create confusion in order that the human being can find new order. And it's not so stupid thinking about this in that way. It's completely turning things upside down.
One really funny opinion, but there is in Lapland there is a group of the shamans there who do something called collective dreaming. They will go together in seclusion and do the rituals with eating very little food and being in a solitude for a long time, and they will go and dream the dreams. And the dream have to be collective, same dream. So coming out of this dream, once of the shaman told me that actually the best thing happened in this planet right now is the Trump to be the president. I said, how is this possible? It's the best thing to happen. He said, yes, because he's so irrational, he's so crazy. That's actually create that awakening, that we finally wake up. Because before it will be another guy and everything looks similar. But he's so different than anything else. So he's the magician who waking us up.
We heard earlier, just here in this video, that the Republicans would have a chance to vote publicly to either support releasing the Epstein files or letting us know, what the hell is going on? What do you mean a hoax? So what happened with that? What did the Republicans do? It's public record, right? Let's watch.
Can't seem to shake, and that is the Epstein files. Uproar continues online and also in Congress, with House Speaker Mike Johnson really breaking from the president on Tuesday, calling on the Justice Department to release all of its files on Jeffrey Epstein. His call came as California Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna and Kentucky Republican Congressman Thomas Massie introduced a bill mandating the release.
We should put everything out there and let the people decide it. The White House and the White House team are privy to facts that I don't know. This isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that. But I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there. And Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody. I like Pam. I think she's done a good job. We need the DOJ focusing on the major priorities. So let's get this thing resolved so that they can deal with violent crime and public safety and election integrity and going after Act Blue.
The committee make an order amendment number 50 to H.R. 3633 offered by Representative Khanna, which would require the Attorney General to preserve and release any records related to Jeffrey Epstein. Madam Chair, on February 21st, 2025, President Trump's own Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said on Fox News, the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk, quote, right now to review, end quote. Kash Patel, Trump's FBI director, said during his confirmation hearing that he would do everything, if confirmed, to make sure the American people knew, quote, the full weight of what happened, end quote. Patel, who now leads the FBI, said on the Benny Johnson show that the FBI was hiding the Epstein client list. Donald Trump Jr., the president's own son, tweeted out, and I quote, "Show us all the Epstein client list right now. Why would anyone protect those scumbags?" Ask yourselves this question, and then the answer becomes very apparent, end quote. And now, forgive me, but suddenly these same people are telling us there's nothing to see here. Trump is posting that we should all just move on. Well, I want to know what the hell is in these files. And I think we all want to know why Trump is suddenly changing his tune and is so desperate to sweep this under the rug. But you know what? This also gets at his credibility. This is about trust. Republicans said, trust us, vote for us, and we will release these files. And here we are. They are backtracking. They said they aren't going to cut Medicaid, and they did. They said they wouldn't add to the deficit and debt. They exploded both. They said that they stand with law enforcement. They won't even hang a plaque honoring officers for their heroism on January 6th. They talk about law and order and can't even condemn the president for pardoning the people who violently attacked the Capitol building. So please forgive me if I don't believe a word of any of it. This isn't about gotcha politics. It's about credibility, or rather the lack of credibility on the other side, because they constantly say one thing and do something else. So I urge a yes vote on my amendment, and I yield back.
The questions on the amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The amendment's not agreed
Chair, I'm
to.
kind of shocked by that. I will ask for a roll call.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Fishbach? No. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Norman? Yes. Mr. Norman, aye. Mr. Roy? Mrs. Houchin? No. Mrs. Houchin, no. Mr. Langworthy? Mr. Langworthy, no. Mr. Scott? Mr. Scott, no. Mr. Griffith? Mr. Griffith, no. Mr. Jack?
No.
Mr. Jack, no. Mr. McGovern?
Aye.
Mr. McGovern, aye. Ms. Scanlon? Yes. Ms. Scanlon, aye. Mr. Neguse?
Yes.
Mr. Neguse, aye. Ms. Ledger Fernandez? Aye. Ms. Ledger Fernandez, aye. Madam Chair?
No.
Madam Chair, no.
The clerk will report the total.
5 yeas, 7 nays.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to.
And this is why I don't talk about politics. So don't expect to see much politics on WTF radio. But what I do is try to advocate for victims and people that can't speak up for themselves. And I really, truly feel, Mr. President, that you are gaslighting a lot of victims and you're making us look ridiculous. When I say us, I mean us as an American people. We have been talking about this Epstein list coming out forever. There is a woman serving a lot of years according to these files and what the prosecution had to do. All of these things that the Republican Party ran on, these promises, and now it's a Democratic hoax. Gaslighting much, Mr. President? Why do you run away? And you're literally running away. We're going to watch a clip of Mr. President running away. But you saw what the Republicans did. You saw they tried to, they don't care, public vote or not. They said, nope, we're not going to force the hand. Shame on you all. And yeah, I'm not really surprised though, because like I said, I don't do much politics. Because the right and the left wing are all part of the same freaking bird, right? A bird can't fly with just one wing. They're all in on it together. You know, you just have to hope that they stick by at least their campaign promises, and that's a joke. That's a joke. Yeah, this whole thing is a joke. What's not funny, though, is the 200 plus victims that you all said that we had. Right? You said that there were in excess of 250 victims and that it was horrible what this terrible man and what that woman did to them. And now it's just a hoax. So when does Gislaine Maxwell, sorry girl, your name is hard to say. Gislaine Maxwell. When is she getting out? Was this all a setup for you to pardon one of your best friend's girlfriends? Very interesting. And what about Epstein's other property? We're going to talk about that in another episode because, yeah, it's really interesting. Epstein has a whole nother property where he did medical experiments. Yeah. And to this day, I don't believe that place has been raided. Interesting. Why are you all protecting him? And is Gislaine going to get out? Man, this is a mess. You politicians are messy, messy, messy. Worse than Lisa.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No. She's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release.
I know for a fact documents are being suppressed, and they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them.
Later.
Hiding a client list or anything that the Trump administration could release tonight?
No, there is no client list. There never has been a client list. A client list suggests that Jeffrey Epstein made a list of people to whom he trafficked women. What there is a redacted FBI affidavit from accusers. There are several of them from accusers that accuse Jeffrey, that accuse various people of having improper sex, and that has been redacted. The names of the people accused have been blacked out. Now, of course, because I was the lawyer and I did only investigations, I know who all these people are. I could figure out, based on everything that I saw, who Mr. X is, Mr. Y is, and Mr. Z. I can tell you right now, none of them are public figures who are currently in office. Some of them were previously in office. Some of them are dead.
Statutory rape, he said that it's an outdated concept. I stand by the constitutional argument I offered in my controversial op-ed. If a 16-year-old has the constitutional right to have an abortion without a state or parental interference, how could she not have the constitutional right to engage in consensual sex? Then he goes, it is obvious that there must be criminal sanctions against sex with very young children, but it is doubtful whether such sanctions should apply to teenagers above the age of puberty, since voluntary sex is so common in their age group.
Yes, in their age group, not yours. Why are you concerned? It should absolutely be protected. Seems that now, I see what you're doing. Yep. It's all a hoax because they were young and they wanted it, and they weren't really graped. No, they were just making money, Mr. Dershowitz. Because according to President Trump, there's no victims now. Well, like I said, I wonder when they'll be doing a welcome home Gislaine party at Mar-a-Lago. You know, where they used your golf course, Mr. President, to find some of these young ladies. Oh, the ones that don't exist. Thanks for watching, Lady Red. You're tuned into WTF Radio. While politicians are acting slick and Lisa's off running her tricks, WTF Radio is still writing music that's sick. Thanks for watching. See you on the flip.
There's nothing to see here. You ignorant peasant. Can't you see his bill is pleasant? All he's done for this planet. Quit gaslighting us, dumbass. Am I crashing? Oh no, they're all in it together. There's nothing